evangelical rights political movement began in the late 60s and early to mid 70s on the platform of racism and white supremacy. This is still among many, but not all members of the current day GOP, a motivation for pushing their policies upon the populace. They aren't even hiding it with dog whistles anymore.
Yeah, let's give this a look. This is recent here.
I just want to mention every time I see a picture of Franklin, he looks like he's so done with everybody's shit. But anyway.
Let's give this a look.
So again, utilize white supremacist fears, which are the underpinnings of American society, which literally are in the foundation to justify this ultra-fascist Christian fucking attitude. And that very same attitude exists to this fucking day. Christianity on its own would not have been able to guide people. So he didn't just say it's because, God said so. He said white race is under attack. White supremacy is always so fucking good for guiding these fucking assholes.
What's up?
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Assholes, okay? Even if they don't personally believe in the religious element, they will literally fucking advocate for it on the basis of white supremacy and upholding white purity. Of course, on the one hand, while they were, and this is exactly the same attitude that Hitler had, by the way, exactly. On the one hand, they were doing forcible sterilization of indigenous and black people, but also, on the other hand, they were advocating for a ban on abortion for white Protestants and just white women in general. He was fearful that Chinese migrants were going to populate the country. It was going to be African Americans, the newly freed people, and the Catholics. They are not the ones using abortion. It's our, Yankee women who are using abortion, trying to get into medical school, trying to do politics, when they should be at home having babies and taking care of them. That was the established attitude. And of course, if you are thinking that it's like very different now, make no mistake, famous.
So he's talking about, actually, I need to give some context here. He's talking about a Reagan from a different time, from the 1800s, not Ronald Reagan specifically, but he's leading into the point that I was wanting to make. I actually did the timestamp in this video a little bit too soon, so I had to give that context there.
The Naperville's very own fuck.
What was that? Sorry.
My uncle's theory was correct, because my mom brought this up to me yesterday because she visited my uncle who he's trying to get out of politics. He was kind of a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know if he is that anymore, because he went through he was just kind of pissed at the world because he lost his wife to a disease. But anyways, she was talking to my mom yesterday, and and it sounds like the way that this guy, this guy here is saying, it sounds like that my uncle's theory is starting to sound more correct than it is a theory, because because I said before this podcast happened, it's just they're not even doing this for religious purposes. They're just exploiting the Christian faith just to advance another agenda.
The fascist agenda. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, but what I did not realize and did not think of was that this is also a racial purity kind of thing too, to target those who are not white, and because Caucasians are starting to become the minority group in America, because we've had so many immigrants coming in the past couple of decades, and and then with blacks getting more right and all that.
Yeah.
So now it's, and what history was that because of this and why they overturned it, even though they're saying, oh, well, we can't overturn the right to bear arms because it's unconstitutional, but abortion was constitutional too. But we don't have enough white people in our country anymore, do we? And abortion.
What you're describing right now is the Great Replacement theory.
There are white people that are like, I'm becoming the minority, and they're fucking terrified by it.
It's QAnon. It's spread even worse because of QAnon, but it's called the Great Replacement theory, and it's modern. It's straight up modern white supremacist fascist rhetoric, like it.
Well, isn't that what drove that guy in Buffalo, New York, to kill like those black people and
right? Yep.
Grocery?
Yep, over at the grocery store. And, he literally said that multiple times. I don't even want to call it a manifesto, but in his document, like the media said it was a manifesto. It was just a crazy document, like from a crazy person.
Isn't that what a manifesto is?
No, not necessarily, because I mean, there are actual manifestos that aren't from crazy people. They're just talking about like an actual political movement or whatever.
Is there like
Yeah,
a
and
word
then
count? Like you have to meet for it to become a manifesto, or
No.
I mean, I think the book written by O.J. Simpson, If I Did It, is a manifesto.
Okay.
it's long enough. Could be.
Fair enough. Well,
I just don't understand. I just don't understand how that isn't enough compared to previous events prior to the Buffalo, New York shooting. Why the KKK and the white supremacists and the Proud Boys is not considered a domestic terrorist group?
yeah, they are.
How?
Oh, they are. They
How
are.
are they not
Definitely are.
classified as that? I
They-
don't
no,
understand.
They
ACLU
absolutely
does.
are, dude.
The ACLU definitely classifies them. I've done a decent amount of research into Kyle Rittenhouse, and that was a whole freaking rabbit hole, man. Because like I wanted to just talk about those shootings and the morality of what he did, which I think he's a moral monster. Like, granted, I think that, yeah, I'm not even going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of how he's been in the media afterwards. So he is just a straight up moral monster. But
I feel like that kid has also been like given very bad guidance from people who are probably mentors to him too. Not trying to defend the kid, but he is probably impressionable at the age that he is, and like everybody around him is probably like almost fucking cheering him on or
Yeah,
egging him
yeah.
on, and he thinks he's doing the right thing because of the influence that he has had.
right, I don't want to
Well,
get
I mean,
down the. I don't want
who
to talk
else? I
about
mean,
the
who else?
Rittenhouse guy. I want to
Right.
talk specifically about the
Anyway.
right-wing militias. Many of them are actually by the ACLU and the Southern Poverty Law Center and a few others absolutely categorized as terrorist groups. So yeah.
So they are classified as terrorists.
Yes,
I thought
absolutely.
I was under the impression they weren't. Oh,
yep,
good to know.
absolutely.
I mean, the Proud Boys especially are considered a terrorist group.
Now, I will say that the Proud Boys specifically are not white supremacists. There's certainly white supremacists within that group. Those are self-proclaimed male chauvinists.
Yeah.
Like they have like kind of
They're
for lack of a better
incels to the
term,
nth degree.
for lack of a better term.
They should be now because they participated in the Capitol riot.
Yeah. And one of the guys that founded that group, and I'm blanking on his name right now, he literally founded Vice. I'm pretty sure it's either Vox or Vice. He was like the founder.
Pretty sure it was Vox.
Yeah, he was one of the founders. But
also, the actual leader of the Proud Boys is black.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just like one of the three guys who came up with the slavery system was also black.
Yeah. All right, let's continue on this video here, because we're gonna see they don't even use dog whistles anymore. It's coming up here pretty quick.
A Nazi, whatever the fuck her name was, it was Marie Miller or whatever, also gave the game away when she spoke at this fucking Trump rally where she.
This was recently, by the way, June 25th, guys. So this
Jesus Christ,
literally 5 days ago.
No.
Listen,
I've seen
Illinois.
that. It's hilarious.
He had this
Hitler
to say.
was right about one thing. What the fuck?
Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
That's
like she didn't even flinch. It was a these people are always very often like, oh, and they do the same thing for Trump.
For Biden, they like as soon as he says anything that could even be misconstrued out of context,
right,
as being like racist, they're gonna jump on it. Like,
yeah. Definitely. But
or just any mix up that he says, because I'm sure because he said because like in his speech today at NATO, he said the attack on Ukraine from Ukraine or something like that, but he meant to say Russia. And like, he said Ukraine on Ukraine. What a dumbass.
The dude's got a literal fucking stutter. So
yeah, he
does.
Yeah, he's not a great public speaker. In fact, I would say he's a bad public speaker. In fact, I would say, and I'm not ashamed at all to saying this, he's just not a great president. I mean,
no, and I would agree with that, but
Yeah.
he is.
He's
a-
mediocre.
Who was
He's
the
better
last
than a
actual
fascist.
great
better,
president?
better than what we had.
Oh, no shit.
He's
but-
better than a straight up fascist that tried to subvert our democracy and actually is succeeding. I mean, let's be honest. He appointed those judges. So he is, in fact, you know, even though he's not currently president, he's currently subverting our democracy indirectly. But let's continue on, because we've got a lot more stuff to get to, and we're already at 1 hour 20 minutes. So let's keep going.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. What the fuck? That's crazy. I'm sure she hasn't said anything else that's like super suspicious at all, right?
Win a few elections, we're still going to be losing unless we win the hearts and minds of our children. This is the battle. Hitler was right on one thing. He said, whoever has the youth
questionable already.
has the future. Our children are being propagandized.
Huh. So maybe she's not misspeaking. Maybe it wasn't a fucking slip of the tongue. Maybe it's just straight up her fucking worldview. Come on, brothers and sisters. You can't get to a point where you say Hitler was
fucked up.
I don't think
Whoever-
she cares. Like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they don't care at this point, Schloop. Like, they are very, like, and we'll get into it here, because we're going to talk about gerrymandering and stuff, but, like, they are very emboldened because they have rigged the system. They don't have to care or even use dog whistles anymore, because they have rigged the system to their favor. They don't even have to get the majority of votes in order to continue getting elected.
And I would all like, fuck. I hate that you're right about that too, because like, I don't know. Before Trump was president, there was a long time where I like, yeah, these people like they're gonna say they're racist shit or whatever. Like, but hopefully the general public is fucking smart enough to see through the bullshit. But now they're like, you just have a bunch of people that are like fucking getting behind it.
When has the general public ever been smart enough to see through any political bullshit?
Hey, we don't need to be attacking the public in this. Like, I agree with you, but like, we need to be building up solidarity.
I mean, I have solidarity to an extent, but I have to admit, the moral majority has really kind of tainted the idea that the general public can be trusted with any rational thought on public or religious aspects.
They're manipulated, though.
That might just be diluted by like the way that media is portrayed.
Yeah, misinformation is powerful.
Yeah,
Like,
Loose
yeah,
lips
the-
sink ships, right?
Yeah, because the media was supposed to inform, and the media, and there's so many biases that and so many of these, and there's oh god, I can't talk today. There's so much misinformation that the media puts out, and not to mention they're all more worried about ratings and profit margins instead of just getting the message out there.
It's much easier for like the minority to be much louder than what they actually are. Like they can.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially when you have when the majority is passive anyways, and then you have the minority that wants to go through and like reproject this rhetoric of the right. Like, I think a lot of people, I'm in that same house of, I'm probably more left leaning and have open views and like and willing to like accept people as they are, but I don't voice it as much. Whereas like people on the right, they have strong like opinions on things, but they're going to be more likely to go to Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, and like try and rally people for their cause. Where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the cause that I would get behind should just be what people naturally get behind. And so I'm not going out to Facebook. I'm not going out to Twitter and being like, yo, look at this Roe v. Wade thing. Look at what's happening in our government. We have to do something about this. Because in my mind, that should just be the natural consensus that everybody has anyways. But you have people on the right who they're very strongly trying to like get their agenda done. And so they're going to try and rally everybody that they can on their side. And I hate trying to make it like a us versus them thing, but to them, it's an us versus them though.
Well, right now, though, and I want to be clear about this, we have to, like, this is where the left and, you know, even progressives, right? Like that are even further left. They're messing up because, like, once again, these religious right and like in general, like the right, they're willing to break the rules. And I'm just really sick of these people that are like, hey guys, we've got to like go higher, like we can't quote unquote stoop to their level. This is why centrists are ill-equipped to deal with these fascist motherfuckers. They're never going to win. They are going to perpetually lose over and over and over again because they're have like this sense of like this do-gooderness where the other side is never again. Like we are seeing this, like, right? They're rolling back Miranda rights. They're rolling back the EPA. They're rolling back like just human rights. They're not playing by the rules. I'm sorry.
What upsets me about those things happening is that it has really nothing to do with like the majority that actually voted for Biden. It's the majority of people that voted for their state representatives. And so it's not, I don't think it's a good indication of what the majority of Americans think. It's a good indication of what was elected into offices as far as like our representatives. And if they were going to go through and like instead of taking vote from our representatives and actually like do a public vote like we would for president or just like for general elections and stuff like that, I don't think this shit would happen. But instead, for a lot of states, the representatives that were elected happen to be right-leaning for some reason, and this is what's happened.
Well, I'll tell you the reason here in a bit, but we're almost about to get to it. But